What if I told you that the single biggest piece of advice you've ever received about online business is wrong? What if your carefully researched, perfectly defined affiliate niche, the one you spent months choosing, the one you've poured your heart and soul into, isn't helping you succeed, but is actually the very thing preventing your growth? Today, we're going to challenge one of the most sacred rules of affiliate marketing. We're going to look at new, shocking data that explains why 95% of new marketers fail in their first year. And more importantly, we're going to reveal the strategy that a small group of elite creators are using to build resilient, burnout-proof businesses that generate massively more income. If you've ever felt stuck, plateaued, or secretly terrified that your niche is getting more saturated by the day, then you cannot afford to miss this. This isn't about working harder, it's about working smarter. So let's get into it. The niche myth and why diversification is the new specialization. Let's be honest. You did everything right. You followed the gurus. You did the market research. You found a niche that was an inch wide and a mile deep. You identified your ideal customer avatar. You created content. You built a small audience, and you started making some money. You felt that initial rush of success. Maybe you're making a few hundred or even a couple of $1,000s a month. You proved the concept works. But now, you're stuck. The content ideas are starting to feel repetitive. The engagement is flat. Your income has hit a ceiling. And no matter how many more blog posts you write or videos you shoot, that number just won't budge. You're trapped in what I call the authority trap. The authority trap is a dangerous place. It's when you become so specialized, so known for one thing, that you can't evolve. You've become the keto diet guy or the beginner woodworking woman. Your audience expects one thing from you, and you feel immense pressure to keep delivering it, even if your passion is fading or the market is changing. Industry data shows this is where most creators stall out, typically within 12 to 18 months of starting. You've saturated your small pond, and you're just fighting other big fish for the same scraps. Does this sound familiar? That feeling of creative burnout, staring at a blank page, wondering what else you can possibly say about your topic. The low-grade anxiety of knowing your entire income depends on the health of one specific, narrow market. The frustration of seeing your income stagnate at $1,800, maybe $2,500 a month, and feeling like you've hit an invisible wall. If you're nodding your head, I want you to hear this loud and clear. It is not your fault. You are following a rulebook that is fundamentally outdated for today's creator economy. That staggering statistic I mentioned earlier, the 95% failure rate for new marketers, isn't a reflection of their work ethic. It's a reflection of a broken strategy, the strategy of absolute rigid niche specialization. But what if there was another way, a way to break out of the box without destroying the brand you've worked so hard to build? The contrarian solution: strategic niche expansion. For the past year, my team and I have been digging into the data, analyzing the top 1% of earners in the affiliate space. And we discovered a pattern they all share, a pattern that completely contradicts the niche down mantra. They don't just stay in their lane, they build new ones. We call this model strategic niche expansion. It's not about randomly jumping from topic to topic. It's a deliberate, calculated method of branching into adjacent markets to create a diversified, resilient, and far more profitable business ecosystem. Think of it like this. The old model tells you to buy a single plot of land and dig for oil. The new model tells you to own the initial plot, but also the transportation company that services it, the real estate around it, and the pipeline that carries the oil to market. You build a portfolio, not just a single well. And the financial difference is breathtaking. A 2024 industry analysis of over 5,000 affiliate marketers revealed something incredible. The study compared marketers who stuck rigidly to a single niche, against those who had strategically diversified into 3 to 5 related niches. The result? Multi-niche affiliate marketers generate, on average, 240% higher monthly revenue than their single niche counterparts. Let me say that again, not 24% more, 240% more. This isn't an anomaly. This is the new formula for success. It's the difference between earning $2,000 a month and earning $6,800 a month for the same or even less effort. It's the difference between a fragile hobby and a scalable, anti-fragile enterprise. This model provides superior stability and growth precisely because it diversifies your revenue. An algorithm change in one niche doesn't wipe you out. A new competitor doesn't tank your business. You have multiple engines driving your growth. But the most powerful part of this strategy isn't just financial. It's psychological. Real-world case study. Numbers on a chart are one thing. Let me tell you a story about a creator. Let's call him Mark. Mark is a real person, and his story perfectly illustrates this transformation. Mark was in the home coffee brewing niche. He was a classic example of the authority trap. He knew everything about V60s, grinders, and bean origins. For 18 long months, his income was completely stalled at around $1,800 per month. He was burned out, creating the same top 10 coffee makers content over and over. He was on the verge of quitting. Following the strategic niche expansion framework, he identified an adjacent market, high-performance fitness for busy professionals. The logic was simple. The same people who obsess over optimizing their coffee for peak performance are often the same people who want to optimize their bodies. He didn't abandon his coffee content. He simply started dedicating about 30% of his output to this new fitness angle. The results were immediate and explosive. His new fitness content generated 340% higher engagement than his coffee content. His audience was craving something new from a voice they already trusted. The fitness affiliate products he promoted converted at rates 180% above his baseline coffee product conversions. Within just 3 months, this new niche added $600 in pure profit to his monthly income. But that was just the beginning. The synergy between the two niches created a flywheel effect. People came for the fitness content and stayed for the coffee advice, and vice versa. Mark didn't just add a new revenue stream. He multiplied his entire business. He broke free from the authority trap, rediscovered his creative passion, and built a business that was not only more profitable, but infinitely more secure. This is the power of breaking the niche rule. How to strategically expand your niche. So, how can you apply this? How do you do it without confusing your audience or diluting your brand? This isn't about guesswork. It's a 3-step framework. Step 1. Overcome the psychological barriers. The primary barriers to this strategy are not tactical. They are psychological. You need to confront them head on. The first is identity fusion. This is when your personal identity becomes fused with your brand's identity. You don't just run a vegan cooking channel. You are the vegan cook. This makes it feel like a betrayal to talk about anything else, like sustainable fashion or home gardening, even if your audience would love it. You have to consciously separate you, the person, from you, the brand, and give yourself permission to be a multifaceted human being. The second is the fear of brand dilution. This is the belief that covering new topics will confuse people. But think about the world's biggest brands. Does Nike only sell running shoes? No, they sell a lifestyle of athletic achievement. Does Apple only sell computers? No, they sell a world of seamless technological integration. Your audience didn't follow you for the topic. They followed you for your perspective, your voice, and your taste. Trust them to follow you on a slightly broader journey. Step 2. Map your adjacent markets. Get out a piece of paper. In the center, write down your core niche. Now, brainstorm 3 to 5 related niches. These aren't random. They are markets that your current audience is highly likely to be interested in. If you're in personal finance for millennials, your adjacent markets could be career development and salary negotiation, travel hacking and frugal travel, sustainable and ethical investing, side hustles and the creator economy. If you're in DIY home decor, your adjacent markets could be home organization and minimalism, indoor gardening and houseplants, hosting and entertaining at home, sustainable living and eco-friendly products. The key is to find the psychographic overlap. What is the underlying value system or goal of your audience? That's where you'll find your expansion markets. Step 3. Run a low-risk content experiment. You don't blow up your current strategy overnight. You test the waters scientifically. Commit to the 80-20 rule for 90 days. 80% of your content remains in your core niche to keep your current audience happy and your income stable. The other 20% is dedicated to testing one of your new adjacent markets. For a YouTuber posting once a week, this means one video a month is on the new topic. For a blogger, it's 1 or 2 posts a month. It's a low-risk, high-reward experiment. Track the data relentlessly. Look at engagement metrics, comments, shares, watch time. Is the audience more or less engaged? Audience feedback. What are they saying? Are they excited? Confused? Conversion rates. Are they clicking your new affiliate links? Are they buying? After 90 days, you'll have hard data. You'll know if this new niche has legs. If it does, you can increase the percentage. If not, you kill it and test another adjacent market. No guesswork, just data-driven expansion. Your objections and the final choice. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but won't this confuse my algorithm and hurt my visibility? The algorithm follows the audience. If you can prove with a high engagement test video that your audience is interested, the algorithm will adapt. You are training it on what your brand is becoming. But I'm not an expert in these other topics. You don't have to be. You just have to be one step ahead of your audience. Frame it as a journey of discovery. Hey guys, I'm getting really interested in this new topic as it relates to my old topic. So I'm going down the rabbit hole and I want to share what I'm learning with you. Authenticity and shared discovery are more powerful than feigned expertise. This is how you bypass the authority trap. Isn't it better to be a big fish in a small pond? That saying is from a world before the internet. Today, the small ponds are drying up or getting overcrowded. It's far better to own the entire watershed, the central lake, and all the streams that feed into it. That is how you build a resilient, long-term business. So, you stand at a crossroads. Path 1. You can continue down the path of rigid specialization. You can keep grinding, fighting for scraps in an increasingly saturated market, feeling the passion drain out of you, all while your business remains fragile and vulnerable. You can hope you're not part of the 95% who fail. Path 2. You can take this framework and become a true digital CEO. You can build a diversified, resilient portfolio of content that excites you, serves your audience on a deeper level, and unlocks the 240% revenue growth potential that the data clearly shows is possible. The choice is yours. The rules were made to be broken, especially when they're holding you back from the business you deserve to build. My challenge to you today is simple. Don't try to change everything at once. Just take out that piece of paper and map one single adjacent market. That's the first step to breaking free. And if you want to accelerate this process, check out our free resources in the description box below. Stop letting a single word define your entire potential. Your audience is more interesting than that, and so are you. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, that 240% increase isn't just a number. It's freedom, it's security, It's the business you actually dreamed of building when you started this journey. Now go build it!